Hello! Welcome back. It's Saturday night, and normally I don't film on Saturday nights, but I did my makeup and hair and I just look good, so I thought this is better than the normal face I come and bring to you at the beginning of my vlog. So last week where we left off is that I was kind of in a reading slump. I just wasn't like getting through anything, and everything that I was reading I was just kind of like meh about. Even if I loved it, I didn't like feel this drive to keep reading it. And that's funny because that reading vlog ended this morning, and as of right now I'm feeling so much better. So I picked up the backup. What am I currently reading? I'm currently reading 3 books, and I don't have all 3 of them in front of me. Oh my goodness. I'm currently reading these 3 books. Hall of Smoke I am doing a video on, and I think the video comes out this Friday, unless it was last Friday. I'm a little bit confused as to when my vlogs come out in relation to when my videos are coming out, but I'm pretty sure this is coming out really soon, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. And then I'm listening to the audiobook for A Gathering of Shadows, which I am enjoying. Not as much as I enjoyed the first time, but I'm enjoying it. Once I got past like part 1 and I got back to where Cal is in the story, I'm liking it a lot more. I myself do not like Lila Bard. I can't stand her. I don't really like her. So whenever she was the main focus for the first part and it was all about her, I didn't really care. But once we get into her like interacting with some other people, I'm way more interested and I like it a lot better. I don't have my background lights on. Ta-da! And then I'm also reading The Missing of Clairdelune, which I have read 50 pages of today, and I'm really excited. So I decided to pick up the audiobook for this, and I'm literally sitting reading every single word as I listen to the audiobook. And I think the reason why I wasn't wanting to pick this up was a few different reasons. First off, I'm loving it. It's probably going to be a 5-star, which seems odd to say when I said that I was struggling to pick it up. But anyways, it's really good. What happens is I think I read too much physically in the first few days of the month, and I just kind of like burnt myself out, and I just couldn't get back into it. But I think I needed to sit down and force myself to read a few pages physically to remind myself like, oh, I like this. This is enjoyable. And then second, this book had something happen that happened the same way in the first book, which is there were 2 chapters in the first book where something changed so quickly that I wasn't like necessarily ready for it, and I didn't necessarily like the direction that it was going, but it only lasted for 2 chapters. So once I got past those 2 chapters, I finished like the last 200 pages really quickly. But those 2 chapters I was stuck on for about a week and a half, and it took me forever to get past those 2 chapters, which were only like 20-30 pages, to be honest. This book had something similar where there was one just really long chapter that was 20 pages, and I wasn't really interested in anything that was going on in the chapter. We were introduced to a new character. We were introduced to our main girl Ophelia being in a new situation, and it felt like no new information was being brought to me. It was like, even though we're in all this new stuff, it was like, okay, it's just another hurdle. Like, okay, come on, I just want to see her hang out with her fiance, to be real. I'm past that. The audiobook got me past that chapter, and now I'm listening and reading along because I'm just kind of enjoying the experience. And I decided while I was doing it, I picked up the audiobook for the 3rd book, which I have down here. I'm not going to pick it up right now, and I plan on reading shortly. I don't know exactly when because I still have a lot that I need to read this month, but I'm really hoping I can finish both of these books by tomorrow night. I am going to a very small Super Bowl party tomorrow. It's like my parents, my brother and his wife, and my parents' best friend couple, so there's gonna be like 7 of us. Is that it? I am hoping to finish both of those. I think I have like 6 hours left in the audiobook for this, so I'll get through it in 3, and then I have about 5 hours, well, it's 5 hours on ×2 speed in this, so I can do it as long as I don't get distracted. And if I do get distracted, it's not gonna hurt me to wait until Monday. But let me really quickly tell you what we're going to be looking at after I finish these 2 books. So this is what the board looks like right now. If you don't know what the heck this is, I do a game every single month where I let the bingo board pick my TBR, and if I get a bingo, I get to buy a book that month. Yay, we're excited. I did buy a book last week, and I haven't officially gotten a bingo yet to pay for it, so hoping to get that. And then, you know, I never know if my book club book, whatever. Anyways, this is what it looks like right now. So after I finish those, the next physical book I'm going to be picking up is Daughters of NRI. NRI because that is for my book club, and I need to read it this week before I start Lore on the 14th for a buddy read. And then I'm either going to be picking up Crown of Midnight or Illuminae, or possibly both, because I know I'll get through Illuminae super duper quick, and I'm pretty sure I'll get through Crown of Midnight pretty quickly. So you might see all three of those this week. Ooh, I don't know. And then eventually I need to be getting to Annihilation. I don't know where that's going to be falling in, but I borrowed it from my library, so I have like a time limit on it. Hello, it is Sunday, and I'm having a pretty chill day this morning at least. Later I am going over to my parents' place to watch the Super Bowl. I don't like sports, but I know there's gonna be really good food, and right now I'm hungry because we're talking about food, so I'm gonna slice up an apple while I talk to you about my morning. Went for a really long walk, and then I came back and edited videos, and now I'm going to sit down and do some more reading. While I was walking and while I was food prepping this morning, I did continue on with A Gathering of Shadows, and last night, way after I talked to you, I listened and read to a lot of The Missing of Clairdelune, like a lot. So as of this morning, before I started reading, I had 3 hours left of both of the books. As of right now, I still have 3 hours left of Missing Clairdelune. I haven't picked it up. I haven't had the time to like sit and read and listen. But with A Darker Shade of Magic, I only have an hour left. So my goal right now is to finish that up over the next hour and get my video uploaded for tomorrow because it's all edited. So I just need to upload it. Then I think I would like to edit my Friday video, or at least get it started, because I don't think it's super long. I actually don't think I totally checked the timestamp, so I should do that. And then I want to sit down and listen to The Missing of Clairdelune, and I'd love to finish it, but I don't know if that's going to be possible because I'm leaving here at like 4 to go, and it's 11 right now. So yeah, actually already doing that math, if I listen to Darker Shade of Magic for an hour, that puts me at noon, and then if I edit for, let's say, 30 minutes to an hour, that puts me at 1. I can't listen. Well, wait. Okay, maybe I'll be able to do it. I might have just like a little bit left kind of at the end when I come home tonight, which wouldn't be bad. I do enjoy reading before bed. Okay, so I finished A Darker Shade of Magic. Nope, that's the first one. I finished A Gathering of Shadows. So it's really interesting. I want to talk about it briefly before I move on to my next task. When I first originally read this series, which was many years ago, I don't remember how many, but a long time ago, I rated the first one 5 stars, and then I rated 2 and 3 4.75 out of 5 stars. And my notes on the books both said that the reason why I didn't rate 2 and 3 5 stars is because they just didn't hold my interest in the way that the first book did. Now this time, I've only read 1 and 2 so far, but the first book I ended up rating 3.75 stars because I said it didn't hold my interest that well and I was a little bit bored in it, but the concept and the ideas and everything were amazing. The second book, I ended up rating 4.5 stars because Lila Bard kind of frustrated me. I couldn't relate to her. I couldn't get into her side of the story, but I love the Essentosh and I love that ending. That ending is so freaking good. So I'm really curious to know how I'm going to feel about the third one. I just checked it out from my library, and I own the physical one too. So on my board, it can technically fit for library or owned. So I'm going to use it for owned, and I think I'm going to use it for white cover, and I think I'm going to read it this month. I don't know if I'm going to read it next. I kind of want to just go straight into it after I finish up The Missing of Clairdelune, because like I think that's the best way to read a series is back to back like that, so you can really compare them. And I'm kind of bummed that I waited so long after finishing the first one. It makes me want to like stop, reread the first one, read the second one again, and then go on to the third one, but I'm not going to. But I wasn't like super excited about moving on to the third one through most of this one, because I was like, it's just gonna be more Lila Bard, and I remember how she is in the third one, and I'm just not looking forward to that kind of personality. But I just looked at my notes from the third book, and I remembered the scene that's supposed to be happening, and oh my god, I cannot wait for that scene to happen again. I can't wait. It's gonna be so freaking good. I'm going to do some more reading for The Missing of Clairdelune. Actually, no. Chandler just posted a video, so I'm gonna watch that video instead of editing my own video, because I'm good for tomorrow, although I need to do a thumbnail. And then I'm going to do The Missing of Clairdelune, and I'm gonna like fold some laundry, unload the dishwasher, do my thumbnail, and then while listening to The Missing of Clairdelune. And then I will make some decisions after that. I realized I needed to take a shower, so I'm not gonna finish up The Missing of Clairdelune, but I've been reading it. I only have 2 hours left, so that's really good. And then I just realized I need to remove my thing for A Darker Shade of Magic. So I was using repeat author for that, so that can go. And now I can flip these two ones, which I'm excited. Let's see what they are. friend pick. Okay. Gonna have to do some thinking about that. Gonna have to do some thinking about all of these. I haven't picked a book for any of the ones that I flipped so far. 6+ word title. Ooh. I'm also gonna have to do some thinking about that because that's a really fun one and really hard to find. Okay, so I'm heading off to go watch sports, but I am here in the book. This is really hard to show you. I'm here in the book. I have less than 100 pages left, so I really hope tonight I can come back and finish it, but we'll see because it's like an hour and a half on the audiobook. Fingers crossed, but if not, we'll just do it tomorrow. Okay, so I'm officially here, which means I have 60 pages left. I went and watched the sports. I have no clue what happened with the sports, but it was fun hanging out with my family. I'm home. I only made it to halftime, but I'm home now and I am determined to finish this up. The audiobook says I have less than an hour left on times 2 speed, so it's like 2 hours if I don't speed it up, and it is almost 9 o'clock. So let's see if I can make it to the end tonight. I will try to check in with you every few chapters, if not at the end of every chapter, just to say a few words. So since I last talked to you, I have been screaming. I listened to, wow, I'm like lost half my screen. I have been listening to this in the car on the way to my parents and then on the way home, and I was screaming while listening to it. Oh my God, some major stuff is happening. If you liked book 1, this one is phenomenal. There's like a 0% chance that this won't be a 5-star. Book 1 was a 5-star and it made it on my favorites list of all time. Book 2 is going to be a 5-star and I'm pretty sure it's also going to make it on my favorites list of all time. So no more stalling. I'm going to sit and read and I will come and talk to you shortly. You can't see me. I just finished chapter 42, which is called The Deal in the physical book. How do I feel? Excited? Yeah. Okay. Next chapter. I just finished chapter 43 called The Reading. A lot of information was just given in that chapter, but the very ending of it was intense. Chapter 44 was really short. It was one of the reprieves, I think is how they say it, but I would say reprise. Don't have anything to say about it. It was 1 page long. Chapter 45, I think it's called The Memory. Oh my God, I'm almost crying. Okay. I'm gonna continue now, but I might cry. Chapter 46, I don't even know what it was called. I don't even have the title in my brain anymore. Oh my God. Oh my God. So much just happened. Like, big stuff. Like, so far we've had, like, plot for, like, the first 2 books, but, like, that chapter was, like, plot for, like, the whole entire series. I'm flabbergasted. I did not see this coming. And it's setting up like a crazy experience for the next 2 books. Stop. Chapter 47. I also don't remember the title of this one at this point. What? Huge cliffhanger. I have 1 chapter left and I think it's like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna come back to you shortly because I need to go finish that. I finished it. There's actually like a final chapter and then like another reprise at the end, but I'm just bulking them together to tell you that I freaking loved the book. I rated it 5 stars. It made it on my favorites shelf. That ending, oh my God. I know that ending is going to mean though that probably for the first half of book 3, I'm not going to be as interested in it because it means that certain characters are going to be separated from other characters and the certain characters that I prefer won't be with us as the reader. But I think that I'm still really excited to get to book 3. I don't know when exactly I'm going to be able to get to it, unfortunately. I have so many other things I need to read this month, and I wasn't even supposed to read this book, but I put it on the list because I really wanted to read it. So that might happen with book 3, but it might not. We'll see. Book 3 is shorter, like significantly shorter. So I finished 2 books today, which is what I wanted to do. I'm going to use this for 5-star prediction. I was going to use it for Title Contains M, but I think I'm going to swap those 2 just because of reasons. I'm going to move that tile off the board on my own time, and I'll come and talk to you shortly when it's daylight out. I meant to come and talk to you yesterday, but my roommate decided that studying for an exam meant sitting on the couch for 5 hours right outside my bedroom, talking on the phone to a friend about personal issues, which, no judgment, let her do her thing. I just wish she wouldn't do it where I could hear her talking in all of the videos that I was trying to do yesterday. So today's Tuesday and I'm here to tell you that I started some books. So this week I had decided to actually listen to Providence of Fire, which I'm about 35% through right now. This is the sequel in the Unhewn Throne series by Brian Staveley, and I read the first one last year, loved it, 5 stars. The sequel is really good. I'm really enjoying myself, but like most adult fantasies, it's hard and heavy, and I don't necessarily want to listen to 8 hours a day until I finish. So it's taking me a little bit to get through. It's 24 hours in total, so on times 2 speed, that's only 12 hours. But I think I have something like 7 hours left, and I'm hoping to finish it this week, but I think I might pick up something else today just to like have a balance. I like to have maybe an adult fantasy and then like do half of it and then do like a YA fantasy and then go back to the adult fantasy. I don't know if I'll pick up Crown of Midnight or not. I might pick up Conjuring of Light. I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of deciding that as I'm like working today, and today's been a really busy day, so I haven't been like listening to the audiobook much at all. I'm on my lunch break, I'm about to go back. The physical book that I'm reading this week is Daughters of NRI, which is for my book club. I'm 80 pages in. So in this book, we are following these 2 twin daughters who were separated at birth, and I don't know this from reading, but I know this from the back of the book, that they are goddesses, but they don't know that they're goddesses. Where I'm at, they are both just kind of struggling with life and struggling with not fitting in and everything, and it's really good. I'm enjoying it. The writing is easy, the flow is really good, the pacing is fast, the characters are enjoyable. I definitely have a lot of questions, but I'm 80 pages in, so I think that's acceptable. So I think that's it. I'm gonna go make some decisions about what book I'm going to be listening to while I take a break from Brian Staveley, because even though I'm loving it and it'll most likely be a 5 stars, sometimes I just have to do this kind of stuff, and it's just who I am as a person. I did buy 2 audiobooks today, but they were books that were on sale, and that's why I bought them, but they were books that I have already read. So I bought Shadow and Bone and I bought Crooked Kingdom because I am planning on doing a huge Bardugo readathon next month, just with myself, to be honest, to prepare for Rule of Wolves. So just so you all know, I will be reading Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, King of Scars, and Shadow and Bone next month, which is a lot. So I figured if I got the 2 audiobooks for the 2 books that I'm less excited about, that'd be awesome. Like, I love Crooked Kingdom, but it's harder to get through than Six of Crows is, you know? Yeah, I'm really excited about all of that. I haven't ever reread Shadow and Bone, and I've never reread King of Scars, but I have reread Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom multiple times. It's gonna be exciting to get to. I also ordered a book online today because Michael J. Sullivan, who I've spoken about a few times on my channel, he does Kickstarters because he independently publishes his works, and so whenever he's about to publish a new book, he does a Kickstarter, and if you back the Kickstarter, you get the book early, like months early before everyone else. And he had a few different tiers, and I decided to get this like limited edition, one time only, leather bound edition of his book, and oh my god, it's so pretty just from like the mock-ups. I can't wait to receive it. He says that I should get it in March or April. I'm like on his short list. It's short list is like a few thousand people, but I'm on his list of people that he sends me this kind of stuff so that I can purchase things early, and that's how I got the slipcase and stuff. He's such a nice person, and me and him have chatted multiple times, and I really enjoy his books. I'm still working my way through them, actually. I'm midway through both of his series right now, so that's kind of funny. Maybe I should put an effort on finishing one of those before April. So I could do a Bardugo-a-thon, and I could do a Michael J. Sullivan-a-thon, which this morning I realized when I was looking at his Kickstarter that Michael J. Sullivan is the opposite initials of Sarah J. Maas, and I thought that was really funny, and it absolutely is the dumbest thing I've ever said out loud, but it was enjoyable to realize. Okay, I'm gonna go back. It's really hot out, so I think I'm gonna go inside. I was gonna try to walk, but it's like freaking hot out. Yesterday, I don't know if you can tell, but I sat outside and read for like 30 minutes, and I got a tan. I can't show you super well right now, but if I take my watch off, I don't know if you can see it, but there is like a distinct watch line, and the rest of me is more tan. So I'm gonna try to avoid getting burnt today. Is this where I last talked to you? I don't remember. It's Friday morning. I have had a crazy hectic week. Do you like my air freshener? It's cute, isn't it? I've had a crazy hectic week, so I really haven't been up on my vlogging game. Today's definitely gonna be the last day because I think tomorrow I'm gonna take off of vlogging, and then Sunday I'm doing something really exciting that'll be part of next week's vlog. So you'll get to see that. I did manage to do some reading. I really feel like I haven't been reading a ton, but that's okay because that's actually where I'm trying to get to with my reading, is just relaxing a little bit with it. So I haven't read any of Daughters of NRI. I just haven't had the time to pick up a physical book, but I did finish Providence of Fire by Brian Staveley, and I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. He has like a really slow start into his books. It took me a few hours, probably like 3, so an hour and a half to get into the book. But once I was into it, oh my god, instantly a 5 star. I loved it the entire time. I'm really drawn to his characters. I think they're really well developed and well rounded, and especially in book 2, the way that he developed them even more. And a lot of his women in book 1 fell into particular tropes that fantasy authors, specifically male fantasy authors, tend to put their female characters into. But I think in book 2 he really explored some variety and got them away from some of those tropes, and that was really nice. I already own book 3. I bought it last year. I bought all 3 like basically together. So I am planning on reading The Last Mortal Bond. I don't think I'm gonna have time this month because I still need to read Conjuring of Light, Crown of Midnight, Illuminae, and there's a few more I think on audio. Plus I have a few holds coming in from my library, and The Last Mortal Bond is 30 hours. Providence of Fire was only 24. So I'm gonna try, but I think that'll be on bingo next month, which is fine. If I started at the end of the month and just finish it next month, I'm also chill with that. One of my favorite things though that he does is he has these like extreme dark moments. Like, he is definitely an adult fantasy writer. His books feel very adult, they just are, but he has these like really, really dark moments, like really gory, really hard to read, but I love them. I love when authors get that dark, and that's why I love adult fantasy. YA fantasy just doesn't have this same like ring to it, and that's fine. Like, I go into a YA fantasy not expecting it to be that dark, but when I do get what I want, it's such a nice relief. I guess that sounds really weird to say out loud. Oh, so my next book that I'm starting is Crown of Midnight. I've been telling you all week that that's what I'm going to be reading this week, and I'm finally doing it. Crown of Midnight has been started. I'm like 1 chapter in. I was listening to it this morning while I was getting ready for the day. So I'm excited to bring that to you all. I don't think I told you that I started Annihilation. I read 1 chapter. I didn't even finish the first chapter because the first chapter was so freaking long. Well, there's only like 5 chapters in the book, and it's like 6-hour audiobook. I didn't like it. It was letter format. I think someone told me that that's called epistolary. I don't like letter format, and I tried. It's kind of like a journal, but she's like writing to herself, so like it was letter format, and I don't like that. So I gave it an honest try. I was about an hour into it, and I was like, I'm just not gonna do this. Why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time on books I don't like? I've kind of come up with a new thing where if I don't finish the first chapter, I'm not counting it as a DNF. I'm counting it as like me sampling the book, and I just either remove it from my Goodreads or I put it onto my want to read shelf if I think I'm gonna come back to it later. I then this morning started The Queen's Gambit, and there was nothing wrong with it. I just don't think I was in the mood for it, and I made it like 10 minutes into it. So I didn't DNF that, but it's off of my radar for this month. Oh, I thought something was on my head. Ha! It's my turtle up here. So not reading The Queen's Gambit, at least not this month, maybe sometime in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't like that kind of book. I'm not historical fiction, so I don't know why I thought I would be, because I like the TV show, but I don't mind historical fiction TV shows. Life is hard when you watch and read like 2 very different genres. Gotta figure out something for doesn't contain an S and doesn't contain an O, but I mean, honestly, doesn't contain an S I'm not even worried about because I don't think it'll get me a bingo if I accomplish it, but doesn't contain an O, if I finish that, I get a bingo right now. It's the only thing holding me back. So I might swap it out for Strange the Dreamer because I've been wanting to reread that this year. We'll see. I don't know. That's kind of a long book to throw in at the last minute, so I gotta go to work. those are kind of my thoughts. I'll try and come and talk to you guys later tonight. I don't know why I told you I'd come back later. I should have just ended the vlog yesterday morning, because now it's Saturday. I wanted to take the day off of vlogging, but I have to edit this video today, so I have to come and tell you goodbye. It's dumb. It's dumb. Anyways, I read about 2 hours of Crown of Midnight. I think I'm like 20% into it, so not far, not enough to really to say anything. I mean, it's just a reread, so like we all know. If you know, you know about Sarah J. Maas. If you don't, you probably aren't planning on knowing, so like whatever. I am like 2 chapters away from the ending of Daughters of NRI. I actually got the audiobook yesterday and listened to a lot of it, like over 100 pages of it, while I was like reading along with it, and I'm really enjoying it still. I definitely have some issues with it, some smaller things, but I don't want to talk about them right here because here. So I'm gonna finish it up on my walk, and I'm just going to let you all know that it is the book for my book club, so I'll be talking about it with them, and I will try to do a really decent review on Goodreads if you want to know more about it. But other than that, I probably won't come and talk to you about it next week, and in my wrap-up I probably won't say as much as I mean, I haven't been saying as much as I used to say, so that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'm done with this. I thank you, appreciate you for watching this video. That's not at all what I normally say, but anyways, if you've read any of these books, let me know down below. I'd love to talk to you about them. And I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.